Hello there, Kansas City. Stephen St. John here with another episode of Hot Mic with SSJ. And again, you can watch this on YouTube. And if you're watching this, you already know this. I don't even know why I'm telling you that. But listen wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, whether it's Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever else. And as always, we appreciate you supporting the podcast. And if you want to advertise, Stephen St. John at 810WHB.com. Let's go. Right now, we are very happy to be talking about guns and hoses. We do this episode of the podcast every year, and we have a few fighters in to talk about participating in guns and hoses. And the event's coming up Saturday, June 22nd at Municipal Auditorium. Tickets are only $25. You can get them at the Municipal Auditorium box office and also through Ticketmaster. And I know that Tickets for Less also has tickets available as well. And on the 22nd, the doors are open at 5:30. We'll have a ceremony to remember and honor our fallen first responders at 6:30. And then at 7 o'clock, the first bout begins. Also, pretty cool deal here. Cassie Joy, a very popular local country artist, she'll be performing the national anthem and also performing during intermission. You haven't seen her. She's incredible. And so look forward to that. Over 90 first responders registered to box. And of all of those who completed the training and went through sparring evaluations, 26 were selected to participate. We have 3 of those participants here in the studio with us. But first, we are going to talk to Jan Zimmerman, who is the director of the SAFE program and with the Kansas City Metropolitan Crime Commission. And Jan, again, thank you for stopping by. You spent 43 years in law enforcement and now, as I mentioned, director of the SAFE program. And that's why we have Guns and Hoses to raise money and to benefit the SAFE program. And so for people that aren't familiar, tell us about the SAFE program, the importance of the SAFE program, and why Guns and Hoses is such a big deal to raise money.
All right. Thanks so much, Stephen. We appreciate the opportunity to talk about SAFE and to talk about Guns and Hoses. SAFE was formed, the Surviving Spouse and Family Endowment, in 2003. And what the program does and has done since it was started is to pay a benefit to the families of first responders that are killed in the line of duty, killed or critically injured. And so in the time that SAFE has been in existence, we have provided benefits to 45 families in the 12 counties that we cover, 6 on the Kansas side and 6 on the Missouri side. And I'm pleased to say that that benefit for those families is now up to $40,000. And we like to be there with those families within the first 24 to 48 hours after they suffer that loss so that they're not worried about how they're going to pay their bills. Can I buy groceries, pay the rent? So the reason that Guns and Hoses is so important is because we want to make sure that we always have adequate funds to be able to pay those benefits when the unthinkable happens and we lose someone.
You know, it's so important, and this is the major fundraiser, right, for the SAFE program. And so it's very important that we get a lot of people out there to support the cause. And the tickets are only $25. And look, I have a bunch of kids. I got 4 kids that 2 of them are men now, but I still got 1 college student home. I got twin 15-year-old girls. Anyone that has kids knows it ain't cheap to go out and find something to do that's fun for the whole family. And I've taken my family several times to Guns and Hoses, and it's a blast. And it's a full night of entertainment. I'll be the MC. Cassie Joy is going to be there, and only $25 a ticket. And then when you know it's for such a great cause, you got to go out and support this.
We so much appreciate that all of the communities in the metropolitan area coming out to support all first responders because we do pay tribute to those that we've lost. But obviously, these folks, these people who have trained so hard to be here and to be part of Guns and Hoses, they're protecting their communities every day, but they're also stepping up to support their fellow brothers and sisters in red and blue.
And you'll be there, obviously.
I will.
You will not be boxing.
I'm not boxing,
right?
No, but
I know. So hey, but it's always good to see you there and see so many people come together from both sides of the state line, right? Because
Yes.
SAFE covers 12 counties, 6 in Missouri, 6 in Kansas. So it's obviously Kansas City area, but it expands greater further than that too, right?
Yes, absolutely. All the way out to Lawrence, all the way south to Clinton. And north to St. Joe, we cover all first responders, police, fire, and EMS.
All right, so let's talk to some of the participants here. And like I said, it wasn't, it's not one of these things where, I'll do it, and then you get picked. You got to go through, I guess, what you call a type of a training camp, and then over 90 first responders is whittled down to 26, and you're 3 of the 26. And I know 2 of you are first timers, and we have a veteran of Guns and Hoses. So let's talk. Let's first start with our guy that's already been through it, and that's Kent Clark, Bureau of Prisons in Leavenworth, Kansas. And you fought before, and you were on the radio show, and I told you guys this is a little bit of a different feel. So if you might want to curse or whatever else, or taunt your opponent, you can do that. If not, whatever. But it's just, this is more of an open, conversation. But you did tell me there's some parameters here, like, I can't ask any specific questions about Leavenworth or anything like that. So I'll just start off. What's the best way to escape, in your opinion? I'm just fucking with you. I'm sorry.
Don't go in.
You like that one? Hey, my dad could have used that information back in the 90s. Sorry, Dad. I should have asked back then. So what made you want to get into that line of work? How about that?
I never grew up and told my parents, I want to work in a prison and become an alcoholic. I always wanted to be a baseball player, and that didn't work out. So I joined the Marines, and I got out of the Marines in 2008, and I just missed that brotherhood, and law enforcement was just the next logical step, just to have that brotherhood and camaraderie. Okay,
and so when did you first hear about Guns and Hoses?
I think 2021, we had some other guys with our agency involved in it, and I got to watch them, and I knew I could beat them up, so I figured,
Wow.
I could do it.
That's the attitude I'm looking for. Okay, and so you had a unique ending to your bout last year. You felt like you were winning, but then it stopped prematurely. Tell people what happened.
It was just an unfortunate accident. My opponent dislocated his shoulder.
So how did that happen?
I would like to say probably because I hit him too hard.
Wow.
But I think it was a freak accident.
Right. And so you knew right off the bat something happened, and then they stopped it, couldn't go on. But they call it a TKO, which is the right call. And so you won the fight, but you would like to end all doubts that you would have won that fight, and you want to win with no controversy this year, right?
Right. I'm ready to turn it up and throw it down, and may the best man win.
So Andy Fensterman, which is a very intimidating name, the Shawnee Fire Department. You've been able to size him up. What do we know about Andy Fensterman?
He's taller, but I think I'm a little bigger.
Right. I used to like sparring against taller guys because there's more to hit, right? And I used to like throwing body shots, and so there's nothing wrong with that. When you were fighting, so how long did the fight last? So was it still in the first round?
It was about 15 seconds.
Okay. And so you get out there, you're going to go through this a second time, so it shouldn't be a problem. But were nerves a problem? Like, how did you feel? It's one thing to spar and do it in the gym, but then you walk out there and there's a lot of people, and it's Municipal Auditorium, and there's the ring. How did you handle the emotions of it when you're walking to the ring?
I was nervous up until the point where the bell rang, and it was just time to put in some work.
And that's it. And that's what you're going to do June 22nd. You're going to put in some work.
Right.
All right, here we go. So now let's talk to Michael Perez from the KCMO Fire Department. And so tell me a little bit about your background and what led you to join the fire department.
What led me to join the fire department was my grandfather. He started it all for us. So I'd technically be a third-generation KCMO firefighter. So I have my grandfather was on, 3 uncles, 3-4 cousins. So it's a family job for the men in our family, and then a lot of the women go to healthcare or teachers.
So were you a boxing fan growing up?
Oh yeah, growing up, I mean, most Mexican families throwing on De La Hoya.
Yeah,
we'll go throw a big old party, and I mean back then, what was I, maybe 6 or something? So we all-nighters. Boxing main event doesn't start till midnight.
It's different, isn't it?
It's different.
Watching fights with your uncles and everything else. See, De La Hoya was fun. I was Juan Manuel Marquez, Marco Antonio Barrera, Eric Morales. Now I love Canelo, and so it's it's almost, you can say, like boxing's in your blood, right? Exactly. And so then, how many of your family members are going to be out there supporting you? Because I bet they're really excited, right?
Oh yes. So my uncle fought in it a couple years ago. We had a great turnout for him.
Did he win?
He did win.
Okay.
His son was Golden Glove champion. We had a great turnout for him.
What's his name?
Vinny Olivas.
Okay,
He
all right.
fights at a Leo Moreno Jr.'s gym over there at College Lamar. So he's, he had a great fight. And so, this just sparked me, to want to join and represent for my family.
So is there any pressure from your uncle? Like, hey, I won, you better win too.
Oh,
So represent the family. Don't do this.
And he's also a captain on the job. So
Oh,
he's,
no.
he puts pressure on me. And this is all for a great cause.
That's right.
That's why we're here.
That's exactly right. Nick Pate from the Lawrence Police Department. That's your opponent. What do you know about Nick Pate?
I don't know much. He's a big guy. His arm's probably about double the size of mine. So he's hit the gym a few times. We got to spar a little bit. And it was an even match. But I'm sure neither of us was showing all we got. So I think we're both going to go out and bang. And we're the first bout, so we're gonna set the bar high.
Are you good with that, being the first bout?
Yeah, I'm totally
Okay,
fine with
yeah.
it. I mean,
You got to set the tone.
yeah, exactly. I'd rather go out there and bang it out, get it over with, and then I can enjoy these guys fighting.
Yeah, and here's a great deal about boxing. If it was a powerlifting contest, if it was a bodybuilding contest, you're talking about how that might matter. You guys are boxing.
Exactly.
That don't matter.
Whole different ball game.
He's going to run out of gas first. He's going to be, and it's like me going up the stairs. It's like second round, all right? And then that's when you attack. That's when you go to the body.
That's where my thoughts are at, and hopefully I'll drag him down into deep waters, and we can give it a good fight.
Well, Nick Pate, when he hears this, is going to be pissed off at me. I'm coaching you up. All right, now let's talk to Cameron Evans from the Henry County, Missouri Sheriff's Office. Now you'll be fighting Andrew Muehlberger, the Shawnee Fire Department, bout 11. So you say we got Michael here that's going to fight, and then watch all you guys. You're going to have to watch everyone else, and then you fight. But you're good with that. Okay, you're okay with that. And you're no stranger to combat sports because you have a little bit of an MMA background. And so you think that's going to help you? How does that translate into boxing on June 22nd?
I've been doing combat sports since I was 15. So I feel like my nerves are going to be a little bit better than his. That's why I have no issue with waiting to the end. I fought on big shows. I fought for Shamrock FC. I fought for
Okay.
KCFA, which is now FAC.
Right. I used to ring announce for them.
Shout out Gage Young.
That's right. There we go.
The big show, the big stage, lights, I'm used to it. I mean, I've had a good layoff, so there'll be some, but I've been doing this for so long. I'm excited.
At any point, if the fight's not going your way, will you attempt to submit him?
No.
Are you sure? Because it could
I'm
be
positive.
instinct.
I'm
Like you just go just a quick rear naked choke. Nothing.
No, not
Okay.
this time.
Right, not this time. But you see, maybe after the fight, like, hey, what did you do that for? You know.
We'll
Right.
have to run it back if it doesn't go the way I want, MMA style.
And where are you training at?
Train at the Body Shop in Sedalia.
Okay.
We got some pretty awesome guys over there. Coach John Moppins he's actually Gage Young's first coach before he trained Jim's up. We house Darian Weeks. He's had a handful of fights in the UFC.
That's right.
So I mean, I'm definitely well prepared.
So what led you to a career in law enforcement?
I actually don't know. I've always said I wanted to be a cop when I was a kid. And then life took me different ways, and I was working a factory job. My girlfriend at the time, now my wife, pretty much was like, you keep talking about it. When you're going to do it, you're not getting any younger. So if it wasn't for her, I probably would never actually made that leap to go do it.
It's always good when your wife says, hey, you ain't getting any younger, because I hear that probably every other week and for other reasons. That's fine. But so how long have you been in law enforcement now?
Almost 3 years.
And so now this is what this is what you were meant to do, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so for you, like you said, you were in the Marines, and then you said law enforcement is was that something like when you were a kid that you thought about, or just not until after you were done with the military?
No, as a kid, I just wanted to do sports. I was
that's
all
it.
baseball. And,
Baseball was your number one sport?
right,
Okay.
and didn't work out, so I figured I wanted to do something cool. So I joined the Marines.
Right.
And after I got out of the Marines, I just missed that brotherhood, and law enforcement was just something that kind of filled that void.
And where are you training at?
I train at Flaco Ramirez.
Okay, now he was a hell of a fighter, right? I mean, a hell of a fighter. And so, look, all you guys are at good gyms, obviously. But what's maybe some of the best advice you've received from him when it comes to boxing, or that you use in your first fight, or you intend to use in this next fight? Because, like I said, when you have a chance to hear from a fighter like that, boy, you better listen.
It's a lot of focus on technique and just getting really good at the basics, and getting your cardio up is probably some of the best advice.
Your opponent may be listening, maybe not. Who knows? If you want to, you want to try to confuse him or whatever else. But I ask you, so like, what's your style? Like, what's your strengths as a fighter? Your power? Do you have a good jab? Defense? Like, what kind of boxer? What are we going to see on June 22nd? Because we want people to come out there and buy tickets.
I don't want to give him too much,
right?
But I'll say I'm not saving anything for round 2. If it gets to round 2, I'm not saving anything for round 3.
Wow.
So let's do it.
Wow. And we've already talked about this, Michael. You want to go out there and put on a show in the first fight. And who's your favorite fighter that you've watched with your uncles over the years? Was it De La Hoya, or was it somebody else?
Yeah, it's definitely De La Hoya. We just watched him for so long. That was the first fighter I watched, and I guess you could say idolized.
Will you call yourself the Golden Boy on June 22nd?
I will not be calling myself the Golden Boy. I don't got the pockets for that.
But see, he wasn't. He didn't come out and brawl. He was a hell of a boxer. And so, is there like what would you say is your strength as a fighter now that you've been in the gym for a while?
Mine, I'd say the movement around the ring. I've wrestled, so I kind of got some footwork to go around. So I'll be moving around the ring, getting in and out.
Ring generalship, your footwork.
Exactly.
We got it. Okay, so Cameron, what about you? Besides the ability to choke someone out at any moment, what's your strength as a boxer?
Definitely my movement. I feel like I cut ankles pretty decently due to the mixed martial arts part of it. You got to be able to move to open yourself up if you want to take someone down in that aspect or anything. So movement and cutting angles, finding an opening.
Is there pressure on you from the Henry County Sheriff's Office for you to win? Have they said, look here, is there anyone else? Are you the only guy from that department? What's the situation here?
I am the only one. I think I am at the very bottom of as far as safe reaches.
Right.
Because we're in Clinton. So as far as I know, no one from my department has done this.
So you're good. You're putting them on the map in Kansas City. All right. So is there a little extra pressure on you? A little bit?
Maybe a little, but we'll just.
What's your hometown? Where are you from?
Windsor.
So they're putting Windsor on the map.
Yep.
All right. Who's the most famous person from Windsor?
Probably my little brother.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. He knows everybody.
Okay. All right. So we represent your brother. You're representing Windsor. All right. So let's get serious here for a moment. We heard Jan talk about why we're doing this, and at the end of the day, I know you guys want to compete. You want to get out there and throw hands and get everyone cheering for you. But it's to raise money for SAFE. And so, can't tell me the importance of that, because we heard what the program does, and that's is very important. And you get a chance to go out there and help raise money for fallen first responders and their families. And there could be no greater, I would imagine, no greater cause than that for you three gentlemen.
Yeah, it is an honor to be selected for this, to go out and do that, and just to have any contribution to those families whose loved ones made the ultimate sacrifice. I'm just honored to do it.
Same question for you, Michael, and it's home for me on so many different levels. I grew up and went to grade school with Larry Leggio, and we all know his story, and his wife usually comes out to the event, and I'm sure she'll be there. And so, tell me why. And like you said, this is something that goes deep in your family, working for the fire department. So tell me why this means so much to you to be a part of this event.
Yeah, it definitely means a lot to me. Like you said, we had a few guys from KCFD unfortunately lose their lives in a fire, and one was from my station, Station 10. So I drive by that building often that they unfortunately had that event in, and we have a lot of memorial plaques around our station. So I see it, every time I'm there. So there's, I just want to kind of do it, for them. Unfortunately, I didn't know them, but a family did, and my other brothers and sisters on the job, knew them. So I kind of just want to, represent for them and anyone else. Obviously SAFE covers a lot of people, and
That's right.
So it's not just KCFD, it's not just firefighters, police and EMS, where it's first responders, goes a long way.
And Cameron, for you, like you mentioned, it shows that it's 6 counties in Missouri, 6 counties in Kansas, not just the Kansas City area. As far as reaching is where you are, and so this is your chance to support, and not just the Kansas City area, and to remind people what you're doing down there with the Henry County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'm super excited. When I was younger, Clinton PD lost 2 officers within 6 months apart. I just remember the impact it had on the community and everybody else. So I'm excited to help put us back on the map, show, hey, we're here to still show those 2 families support. Those are the only in-line of duty deaths that we have in our county, thankfully. But I want to give back just in case if, God forbid, there's another one.
Well, on behalf of everyone listening, thank you for what you guys do, and thank you for putting it on the line to come out there and fight on June 22nd. Because let me tell you something, it ain't easy to get out there and get in the ring and do that in front of all those people watching. And so it takes guts to do what you do in your everyday lives and your line of work, but also get out there and box and put it on the line. And so I'm looking forward to watching you guys fight, because I'll be the MC of Guns and Hoses, June 22nd. All right. Before we get a final word from you, Jan, again, tell people again why they should come out to this event, not only to watch some great fights and some fighters that worked really, really hard to prepare and get in the ring, but why we need to raise money for the SAFE program, and why Guns and Hoses is so important.
People throughout our community are touched by first responders in every way, whether you're in a car accident and you need a police officer, or you call for an ambulance. Those first responders always stand up for the people in our communities. And so SAFE, which provides that support to the families if we lose a first responder in the line of duty, I feel like it's important for the community to show their support for those people who stand up for them every day. And so Guns and Hoses, as everyone has said, puts these first responders in the ring against each other to box. So it's a really fun event, but it's a really important cause. And so I think that everyone in our community should step up for them like they step up for the community every single day of their careers. We raise money at Guns and Hoses that ensures that we have adequate funds to pay a first responder's family if we lose them in the line of duty. And so it's important for the community to come out and show that support. All
right. Very well said, Jan. And again, for more information, kc-crime.org. It's Saturday, June 22nd at Municipal Auditorium. Tickets $25 at the box office or through Ticketmaster. And you come out and you will not be disappointed. And I'm honored to be the MC. 13 bouts, so you'll get your money's worth. Okay, I'm going to give you guys the final word here. It's promo time. You got to cut a promo. The best in the business as far as combat sports ever was Muhammad Ali. The best, I would say, in MMA, Conor McGregor. And the best when it comes just to anything is the Nature Boy Ric Flair and The Rock, all right? So you could be talking to your opponent. You could be like Clubber Lang and just predict pain, whatever. You tell people why they should come and watch you in the ring on Saturday, June 22nd. Up first, Kent Clark.
Well, my ring name is The Shovel, and you can't dig a grave without a shovel. Wow. That's all I got to say.
Unbelievable. You know what? Chills right now. All right. If I had hair, it would be standing up on the back of my neck. All right, now we'll hear from Michael Perez.
Hey, if you're ready for a good show, a good night, come out and watch the first bout. I'm going to put on a banger. I hope Nick's ready to go. Hope we can meet in the center of the ring and just Holloway, Gaethje style, and just bang it out.
Oh, Holloway, Gaethje style. So I hope you're Holloway in this equation.
Yeah.
All right, you gotta specify. You don't
that's how I picture it.
All right. Now that's like fight of the decade, maybe. So all right, that's about number one.
Let's start it
right.
off.
You got Cameron Evans. He almost jumped out of his seat just then. Cameron Evans, tell people why they need to come and watch you fight.
This is going to be fireworks. It's going to be excitement. To Andrew, don't be scared, homie.
Don't be scared. And he dropped in the homie as well. I like you, but don't be scared. Somewhat disrespectful, but I like it. And so thank you to Kent. Thank you to Michael. Thank you to Cameron. I hope they're going to be great fights. I know they will be. I'm looking forward to the MC. And also thank you to Jan Zimmerman, the SAFE director. And we're going to raise a whole bunch of money. Get your tickets. Go to the Municipal Auditorium box office. Go to Ticketmaster. Go to Tickets for Less. They're only $25, all right? And we're going to have a great night on Saturday, June 22nd at Municipal Auditorium, Guns and Hoses. Until next episode, this microphone is off.